Hey Shark fans, it's Melinda Marsalis. Welcome to Heard It on the Shark. I'll be your show host, and Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area is your show sponsor. Heard It on the Shark is a weekly interview show that airs every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on the Shark 102.3 FM radio station based in Ripley, Mississippi. Then it's released as a podcast on all the major podcast platforms. You'll hear interviews with the movers and shakers in North Mississippi who are making things happen. I'll talk to entrepreneurs, leaders of business, medicine, education, and the people behind all the amazing things happening in North Mississippi. When people ask you, how did you know about that? You'll say, I heard it on the Shark. Heard It on the Shark is brought to you by the Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area. We want you to get out and discover the historic, cultural, natural, scenic, and recreational treasures of the Mississippi Hills that are right in your backyard. And of course, we want you to take the Shark 102.3 FM along for the ride. Musical credit belongs to Hill Country Blues guitar legend Gary Burnside and the late great Buddy Grisham, playing Long Way Home from their album Acoustic Brothers, which was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
This program was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
Hey, Shark fans, it's Melinda with another episode of Heard It on the Shark. And today in Sun Bear Studio, I have with me Mr. Tom Lindsey, who is the Tippah County Emergency Management Coordinator. Tom, how you doing, man?
Doing fine. How are y'all doing today?
Why are you acting like it's a normal day and you haven't just been through a disaster?
It is a normal day for me. Like, I kind of thrive on the things to do to take care of the people of Tippah County, to be quite honest with you.
And so, really, for a person that would take a job like yours to come through a disaster, that's a good thing.
Yes.
That's what you signed up to do and did really well, I would say. Absolutely.
I appreciate you for that. I don't get the glory for it. I give God the glory for that. I'm a paramedic. I love taking care of the one person, and as an emergency management coordinator, I take care of the 20,000.
I asked you to come in today, not really to talk about the ice storm, but to talk about going forward, because there's always another something coming up. Remember Snowmageddon a couple of years ago?
Absolutely right, yes.
And then there's always a tornado or two.
Yes.
We have our share of disasters. So I thought that maybe while it was fresh on your mind, you could talk to all our Shark fans. And remember, we're all across Northeast Mississippi, some in Tippah County, lots and lots outside. Just some things that you learned that you're like, here's some stuff that could help you out.
I started out in 1994 as a regular citizen, went through the ice storm, just like everybody else did back then, and I had a propane infrared stove is what I had. Everything else was electric in my house. So after that, going forward, once I started redoing my house, we redid our kitchen. I changed out my electric stove for a gas stove. When my hot water heater went out, it was electric. I swapped it out from electric to natural. And then when we redid our living room, years later, not all at one time, years later, I put in a wood-burning stove there. I saw a need to get away from all electricity. I wanted redundant systems in my house. If I couldn't cook on my stove, I could cook outside on a barbecue grill. If I couldn't cook on that grill, I could do a wood heat. I could, chop wood and burn the heat. I want redundant systems for my house. It's my personal job to take care of my family, nobody else's.
I really love two things. One, that you said redundant systems, because I've been calling it backups, but You're right.
Backups redundant, right.
Yeah, redundant systems. I like that, because then you're not just dependent upon one source, because you just never know what could happen to knock your internet out or knock your whatever out. And so
Absolutely.
I love the redundant, and I love the idea of if each of us becomes a little bit more prepared, then the whole thing gets easier.
Right. So if I can take care of one family, that's one family I do not have to take care of going forward. If you can, it's your personal responsibility to take care of your family.
Yeah, we loved that we were able to say, we're good, we're fine, because we had a fireplace, a wood-burning stove, and we had collected a lot of firewood. We had a generator. We had several things that made it a whole lot easier for us personally, our family, to get through the whole thing. We didn't have water for a long time, but we're going to go get a guy to dig a well for us, so I'll have redundant water.
Absolutely. One of the things that I'm a really firm believer in is I feel confident once I leave my house going to my job that my family's taken care of. Don't have to worry about my family.
Okay, so give us some tips.
So one of the first things I would very much do is tell people to go to Lowe's, go to a Home Depot or some store like that and buy the black tote with the yellow lid on it. Everybody knows about the lids. Buy a couple of those that are decent size. I would always go shopping with my wife in my early days. We would go shopping, and she would say, hey, get 2 cans of green beans. Well, I would put 3. I had a little stock of canned foods there. I would get a roll or 2 of toilet paper. I would put a couple things of water, things that I would use. And like I would also get pastas. So the Pregos, the spaghetti mixes and stuff. I wouldn't buy anything that I would not eat. I would always get something that my family would eat on a normal, regular basis. That way, when I put this back, I would always mark the dates on my cans with a Sharpie, and we would go in, we would use those canned foods, we would eat them, use them, and then replace them with new. And then the spaghetti mixes and everything like that. So
have a supply kit in a closet somewhere ready that you update all the time. It's never done.
Right.
You're just always updating.
It's a livable, breathable, workable pantry.
Talk about some things that you saw people do that were planning ahead that were really smart. When you can't buy a gas stove or you can't have a generator like that.
So one of the things, like camping supplies from Walmart, if I was going to have to do this again, I would encourage people to have at least blankets. Not blankets, but maybe sleeping bags from Walmart. Put your blanket inside the sleeping bag, make a good little cocoon, because sometimes if you have electric heat, you're going to have that redundancy. You're going to have some backup to keep you from being cold at night. I would buy some cheaper end camping gear if you can afford that. If you like to go camping, especially do that.
Like a tent, like they showed how to build the cocoon inside your house with the tent.
Absolutely, yeah. It would be genius to put a tent up in your living room with a little heat source. Put your kids, you inside this tent. That way that you can serve the energy, you can serve your heat. Go to that one room and make it happen that night, just until you can get through the next night until you get your power back on.
In 94, there was no such thing as a cell phone.
Absolutely.
We all had a landline.
Right.
So now, all of a sudden, you can't get in touch with your great aunt or your grandmother or whatever because her phone died 2 days ago. So
one thing that I do, and I have done, is I bought battery backups, the little battery packs, and I've got probably a dozen or more at my house. That's one of the systems I wanted to put in place, because if my phone doesn't work, I don't have internet, I don't have the outside world to talk to, I can't check on people. Communication's essential to me. So I always have that battery backup there, that battery pack. So there's such things called solar generators. And a solar generator is just a box that has a couple of batteries in it. It has the USB ports. It has 110 outlets. It has inputs for solar. But you can also take that, have the gasoline in your car, hook it up to your car, hook it up to a cigarette lighter, charge that during the day. Or if you have a generator, keep that charged during the day. Cut your generator off. You save the fuel. You don't have to run your generator 24/7 by no stretch of the imagination. Then at nighttime, use that battery bank to power up your fans, power up the CPAP devices and things like that.
Oh, right. Medical devices.
Absolutely, right. Some things that I would really consider on the medical side is when the power goes out, how are you going to keep the oxygen coming into your family? A family member that needs its own 2 to 4 liters of oxygen nasal cannula. So you may want to have a couple of E-tanks, oxygen tanks there that are the taller E-size.
Thinking ahead, it's so easy to get complacent and not think ahead.
Right.
Since it is the season for tornadoes, let's talk about that.
Sure.
Let's talk about how to be prepared to get in a safe place. If you're lucky like I am and have a tornado shelter, you're good. Just keep it cleaned out and all that. But what if you don't?
So number one thing I would do is when you hear the tornado sirens going off, please don't go outside and find out where they are. That's the worst mistake you can make, is go outside and look for, listen to the siren. I would have, of course, cell phones these days, you have all kind of resources there to get your warnings on the NOAA weather radio, the redundancy backup. If your phone goes out, you still have that NOAA weather radio to get in contact with. You have all the websites, the Matt LeBon's, the Channel 5 3s and 13s there to give you the warning where the tornado is. I would have a plan well in place before this. Talk to your family about it, know where you're going to go, because during this time of pressure, you're not going to remember where to go if you don't have this plan.
Let's just take, there's lots of people that live in not sturdy homes or maybe a mobile home, somewhere that they don't feel safe at their home. How do they know where the closest shelter is, and what should they do about going to that?
Right. So the city of Ripley has several shelters in several different sites. Blue Mountain has several there by the fire department. Walnut, I don't know if they don't think they have one, but Dumas has a couple.
So maybe on a nice day, go scout it out and find one.
Absolutely correct. Yes.
Yeah, maybe even sweep it out.
Yes.
Get ready to get in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Tom, any other quick, good tips for the next emergency?
Absolutely. Like people really forget the simple things in life. Like during this ice storm, people would say, hey, what can I do because I want non-potable water to be able to flush my commode with? Go out and empty out your trash can that has the wheels on it, the big green one that has the wheels. Take that, fill it up with water, put your antifreeze in it, put it in the carport closest to you, get a 5-gallon bucket or get a bucket. That way you can dip out of that, put it in your toilets and flush your commodes with. You're going to think out of the box.
I did a little bit of thinking outside the box, but after it was over, I was like, girl, you are too soft. We have all gotten too used to the modern conveniences.
Right. I've just systematically over the years taken my time and got my house in order.
That's a great idea to make a list right now while it's top of mind.
Yes.
Before the newness of what we just went through goes away.
Never make a decision on a disaster on a sunshiny day.
Yeah.
Use this ice storm to benefit yourself. If you want to prepare your family, go ahead and start now. Start small. Work your way out. Figure out solutions for your problems.
Tom, I really appreciate the work you did during the ice storm, and I thank you for coming in and giving us these great tips.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Shark fans, this has been Tom Lindsey, who is the Emergency Management Coordinator for Tippah County. And that's it for this edition of Heard It on the Shark. You can tune in every Tuesday at 11 a.m. to find out what's going on with other local leaders like Tom. If you have a question, comment, or suggestion for an interview, or if you want access to this interview, you can find it at our website, shark1023.com, when you click on the podcast tab. Keep it tuned to the Shark 1023 and have a great rest of the day.